Beloved soul, you did not stumble upon this message by accident. Spirit has ordered your steps. Divine law has guided you here, because you are ready to prove something most people doubt, something most people delay. You are ready to prove that money, real money, can flow to you within 24 hours. Tonight you will hear words that will dissolve the belief in waiting. You will hear truth that will shatter the illusion of delay. You will speak a decree that will open the floodgates of supply. This is not chance, this is law. This is not luck, this is demonstration. You see, most of the world has been taught that money must be earned slowly. Wealth comes only through years of labor, that opportunity takes time. That belief is a prison, and it has kept multitudes in bondage. I am here to tell you, beloved, God's supply is not limited by time. Divine abundance does not need months, or years, or even weeks. The same law that brings forth the harvest in the earth is the law that governs your finances. As quickly as a seed bursts forth in fertile soil, so can your spoken word bring forth a harvest of money, health, and opportunity. I tell you plainly, your word is your wand. With it, you summon into visibility what already exists in the invisible. You speak a word of lack, lack comes. When you speak a word of fear, fear obeys. But when you speak a word of faith, the heavens open, supply rushes to meet you. The world will call it a miracle, but I call it law fulfilled. What you decree with faith must be established unto you. Tonight, as you listen, want you to let go of the old belief that money takes time. That belief has no power except the power you give it. Release it now. Release the memory of waiting. Release the story that says you must struggle. Release the lie that you are not worthy of swift supply, is impartial. It does not delay, it does not argue, it simply obeys. Speak and it shall be so. I have seen it again and again. A woman burdened with debt spoke the word of supply before she slept, and by morning, a gift arrived that cleared her obligation. Man in despair declared healing, and overnight, strength returned to his body. Money, opportunity, love. None of these are bound by the clock of man. They are bound only by the word you speak and the faith with which you release it. So tonight, I give you this charge. Do not go to bed rehearsing lack. Do not close your eyes with worry as your last companion. Speak the word of power. Decree your supply. Expect your miracle. For as you sow, so shall you reap, and as you speak, so shall it be done unto you. Now listen carefully. When I give you affirmations, speak them aloud. Do not whisper them in doubt. Declare them with certainty. After each one, pause in silence, as though you are listening for the echo of heaven saying, "It is done." It affirm with me now. Large sums of money come to me quickly and easily, under grace, in perfect ways. I am aligned with divine supply, and money flows to me within 24 hours. My word is my wand, and tonight I speak abundance into existence. I rejoice in advance, for my miracle of money is already here. These words sink deep into your heart. Feel them take root in your subconscious. For tonight, you are planting a seed that cannot fail to grow. I tell you this, go to your rest with expectancy. Sleep as one who has given the command and knows it will be carried out. Rest as one who has placed an order in the storehouse of heaven and knows delivery is certain. The world will tell you to wait, Spirit whispers, now. Divine law does not postpone your blessing. It does not delay your answer. It fulfills your decree swiftly, under grace, in perfect ways. Beloved soul, your proof is at hand. Within 24 hours you shall see a sign, a gift, a flow of money that confirms the power of this law. Watch for it with joy. Receive it with thanksgiving. Testify of it with gladness. For tonight you have spoken, the law has heard. Tonight you have decreed, and it is established. Beloved soul, I must speak plainly to you now. The greatest obstacle to rapid manifestation is not the universe. It is not God. It is not lack of opportunity. The greatest obstacle is the belief in delay. Man has been taught to wait, to struggle, to earn by sweat, to suffer long before receiving. That belief is a chain, and tonight, we break it. Money does not need time to reach you. Supply does not need years to form. The truth is this: what you desire already exists in the invisible. Every dollar you will ever need is already present in the storehouse of spirit. The law does not create when you ask. The law only delivers what already is. Delay is nothing more than the mind's invention. Think of it this way: you plant a seed in the soil. The harvest is already contained within the seed. The apple tree is hidden in the apple seed. You do not create the tree, you only release it. In the same way, when you speak your word, the supply is already contained within your decree. It is not waiting to be made. It is waiting to be revealed. Delay exists only when you doubt. Delay exists only when you contradict your own word. Tell you, beloved, the subconscious mind does not argue. It does not say, later. It does not say, tomorrow. It receives only what is spoken in faith. If you say, I shall have money someday, the subconscious accepts someday, and someday never arrives. But if you say, I have money now, it comes swiftly, under grace, in perfect ways. The subconscious accepts now. Now must be fulfilled. So tonight, let us erase the lie of delay. Speak these affirmations aloud, and after each one, pause, so the echo of heaven may seal it in your heart. I dissolve every belief in delay. What I desire is mine now. Divine supply is immediate, unfailing, and unstoppable. Money does not need time, it needs my decree, and I decree it now. My abundance flows to me quickly, under grace, in perfect ways. Do you feel it, beloved? Each word is loosening the chains of delay. Each decree is striking down the lie that you must wait. God's timing is not the world's timing. With spirit, there is only now. The scripture says, before they call, I will answer. While they are yet speaking, I will hear. Do you hear the promise in those words? Before you even finished the prayer, the answer was given. While you are yet speaking, the supply is already on its way. What man calls miracle is simply spirit moving outside the bounds of human clocks. Man calls impossible is simply divine law obeying faith without hesitation. Let me tell you a story. A woman came to me once, anxious for money. She said, Miss Shinn, I cannot wait another month, another week. I need supply at once. I told her, speak your word, and expect. She went home that night and declared, large sums of money come to me quickly, under grace, in perfect ways. By morning, an envelope had arrived at her door, containing money she did not expect, money that met her need exactly. She dissolved delay by dissolving doubt, and the law fulfilled her decree overnight. Delay is only real if you agree with it, is only powerful if you speak it. The moment you say, it is mine now, and believe, the entire universe rearranges to deliver it. Angels move, doors open, opportunities shift, and what seemed impossible is suddenly in your hand. Now, listen to me carefully. You must stop planting words of tomorrow. Stop saying, I will be rich someday. Stop saying, money will come eventually. Stop saying, if only I wait long enough, my time will come. These words are snares, and they keep you bound. Your word must be present tense, alive, now. For in spirit, all things are already finished. Affirm again with me, with power. Delay is a lie. I live in the now of abundance. I release every belief that money takes time. Divine law works swiftly, and my supply comes at once. I speak, and it is done. I decree, and it is established. As you let these words sink deep, notice how your mind begins to shift. The old belief of waiting begins to crumble. The old habit of postponing blessings dissolves. You feel lighter, freer, more certain. You realize the money you desire is not in the distance. It is here, pressing at the door, waiting for your decree to open the way. Soul, when you truly accept this truth, you will see signs quickly. Within hours, you will notice opportunities, conversations, surprises that confirm this law. Perhaps an unexpected refund, perhaps a gift, perhaps a door you thought was closed swings wide. The form does not matter, the speed does. Supply rushes to fill the space created by your decree. Let your expectancy rise now. Expectation is faith in motion. What you expect, you attract. What you look for, you find. What you prepare for, you receive. Go through this very night expecting, not doubting. Awake tomorrow expecting, not questioning. For expectation is the magnet of miracle. I tell you this, within 24 hours you will receive proof. You will receive money, perhaps great, perhaps small, but it shall come, and it shall come swiftly, as a demonstration that the lie of delay has been destroyed. From this day forward, you shall never again believe that money must take time. You will know by experience that money, like all of God's supply, flows at once when the decree is spoken with faith. So rest now in this truth. Speak it again and again as you prepare for sleep. Money flows to me quickly, easily, and under grace. I live in the now of divine abundance. Well, my word is my wand, and what I speak appears swiftly. I rejoice, for my miracle of money is already here. These words be the last sound on your lips before rest, and the first thought in your heart upon waking. For by this practice, you align with the immediacy of spirit, and you dissolve forever the belief in delay. Beloved soul, now that you have dissolved the lie of delay, you are ready to step into the activation of faith. It is faith that makes the invisible visible. It is faith that calls forth the unseen into form. Without faith is an empty sound. With faith, the word is law. Faith is not hoping, nor is it wishing. Faith is certainty, is knowing that what you have spoken is already done. The world says, I will believe it when I see it. But Spirit says, believe it, and then you shall see it. That is the difference. That is the secret. So I ask you now, do not look at your purse, do not look at your bank account, do not look at the world's evidence of lack. Look to the unseen. Look to the limitless supply of God. Tell you, the purse may be empty, but the storehouse of heaven overflows. The account may seem small, the riches of spirit are infinite. What matters is not what you see with your eyes, but what you decree with your word is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. When you speak in faith, you are not begging for supply, you are commanding law, and law obeys. Law does not hesitate, it does not argue, it does not delay. it fulfills the decree spoken in certainty. Now let us activate your faith. Place your hand upon your heart, for faith begins within. Close your eyes for a moment and see, not with natural sight, but with the vision of spirit. See yourself already supplied. See the money already in your hand. See the opportunity already delivered. See the door already opened. And now, speak with me these words of faith. Large sums of money come to me quickly and easily, under grace, perfect ways. I have already received my supply, and it appears swiftly before me. Oh, divine law delivers abundance now. Faith has decreed it. Wes, I rejoice, for I walk by faith, not by sight, and I see my miracle with the eyes of spirit. Do you feel the shift? Do you feel the certainty growing within you? Is faith taking root? That is the activation of your divine authority. Let me give you a practice. Each time doubt whispers, answer with a decree of faith. If doubt says, "But I see no money," you reply, "My supply is unseen but already here." If fear says, "It may take time," you reply, "God's supply is immediate and unfailing." If worry says, "What if nothing comes?" you reply, "Something is already on its way." Do not argue with doubt. Overrule it with faith. For faith is the only voice the subconscious obeys. You must also clothe your faith in feeling. Words without feeling are weak. Words spoken with the vibration of joy are irresistible. So when you decree, decree with gladness. Let a smile touch your lips. Let your voice rise with assurance. Feel the delight of already possessing what you have declared. For the subconscious mind responds not only to words, to the emotion wrapped in those words. Let us speak again, but this time, feel the joy as if the miracle has already happened, the excitement of money in your hand, the relief of every need met, the thrill of unexpected abundance flowing to you. And now, declare with me, I am overflowing with divine supply, and money comes to me now. I feel the joy of answered prayer, for my abundance is here. I am a magnet for prosperity, and nothing can keep it from me. Faith is my proof, and by faith I receive money within 24 hours. Beloved soul, as you speak these decrees, your vibration rises. You are no longer in the vibration of lack. You are in the vibration of wealth. You are no longer asking. You are receiving. You are no longer waiting. You are celebrating. This is the essence of faith. I remember once a student came to me, anxious and restless. She said, "Miss Shinn, I have spoken the words, but I see nothing." I told her, "Then you have not spoken in faith. You have spoken in fear disguised as hope." I instructed her to speak again, but this time with joy, with laughter, with the feeling of already possessing what she asked for. She obeyed. She declared her abundance with gladness, and went to her rest in peace. By morning, the miracle had appeared. For when she clothed her word in faith, the law obeyed at once. So you must do the same. Do not speak with tension but with triumph. Do not decree with strain but with certainty. Faith is not heavy, it is light. Faith is not anxious, it is joyous. Faith does not beg, it commands. Let us anchor this activation with one final decree cycle. Speak aloud with me slowly, powerfully, and pause after each to let the echo fill your being. I have spoken my word, and it is law. Divine supply cannot fail me. It flows swiftly to me now. Faith is my proof. My abundance is assured. Within 24 hours, I shall see with my eyes what I know in my heart. Now, beloved, breathe deeply and rest in the certainty of these words. For when faith has spoken, the matter is settled. The law is set in motion. Supply is on its way. You have activated your faith, and faith never fails. Beloved soul, I know that even now, some part of you may still whisper, can this really be so? Can money, real money, appear so swiftly? That is why I must give you demonstrations. For truth, when applied, always proves itself. Divine law is never theory. It is always demonstration. Me tell you first of a woman who came to me burdened with great fear. Her debts pressed upon her, and she saw no way of relief. Each night she went to bed rehearsing her lack, and each morning she rose more weary, anxious, more defeated. I said to her, change your word, and you will change your world. Tonight, do not speak of debt, speak of supply. Do not fall asleep in fear, fall asleep in faith. She obeyed. That night, before her eyes closed, she declared aloud, God is my instant, unfailing supply. Large sums of money come to me quickly, under grace, perfect ways. And then she slept, not in worry, but in peace. By morning, the miracle had come. Forgotten inheritance was suddenly released, and a check arrived at her door. It was more than enough to clear her debt. In less than 24 hours, her burden was lifted, not by toil, not by chance, but by law. The spoken word, released in faith, drew the supply that was already hers by divine right. Another came to me, a young man with only a few coins in his pocket. He said, Miss Shinn, must have money tomorrow, or I shall be ruined. I said to him, then you must prove the law tonight. I gave him a decree. Money flows to me freely, easily, and swiftly, under grace. He spoke it with faith, and went to his bed in expectancy, not in fear. The very next day, he was summoned for work he did not expect, and the pay was placed in his hand before the day was done. Within 24 hours, the law had delivered. Do you see? It matters not the size of the need. It matters only the certainty of the decree. For spirit is not limited by number, nor by circumstance, nor by man's rules. Spirit is limited only by man's belief. I, too, have lived these truths. Once I faced a situation that seemed impossible. A student of mine was in desperate need, and the time was short. In the natural, there was no way supply could appear so quickly. But I stood firm and declared, this supply is mine by divine right, and it comes swiftly and under grace. I released the word and went to rest. By morning, the provision had come, exact and perfect. The student rejoiced, and I rejoiced, for once again, the law had proven itself. I tell you these demonstrations not to astonish you, but to remind you that the law is impartial. It does not play favorites. Has worked for one will work for all. It will work for you. If you decree with faith, you shall prove it within 24 hours. Let us speak together now, to anchor this truth in your heart. Say aloud with me, money appears in my life quickly, easily, and under grace. I dissolve every doubt, for the law is already at work. What has happened for others happens for me now. Within 24 hours, I shall see divine supply with my own eyes. The beloved, as you speak these words, notice how faith grows stronger. Notice how expectancy rises. That expectancy is the sign that the law is already moving. For Spirit answers the instant the word is spoken, though the evidence may not yet be seen with the eyes. I remember a woman who told me she had tested this truth. She spoke her decree at night, and in the morning, she opened an old drawer and found money folded in an envelope she had forgotten long ago. Another declared her supply, and before the next day ended, she was handed money as a gift by a friend who just felt led to give. Another affirmed her abundance, and within hours, she received a message of approval for funds she had been waiting months to receive. In every case, the supply was already near, but the decree in faith unlocked it. So I tell you now, prepare yourself. Within 24 hours, you too shall see proof. Perhaps it will come in an unexpected gift. Perhaps through work you did not plan for. Perhaps in a refund, or a bonus, or money release that was long delayed. The form does not matter. The swiftness does. For when you decree in faith, the law must fulfill it. Let us affirm again, and this time, declare it with joy, as though the miracle has already appeared. I rejoice, for my money is here now. Divine supply rushes to me without delay. I see proof of abundance within 24 hours. Ah, my word is my wand, and my decree is fulfilled. Rest in this truth, beloved soul. Do not question how the supply will come. Do not calculate the method. Simply know it is done. Simply watch with joy as Spirit arranges the means. I give you this promise. Within 24 hours you will have a testimony. You will have proof that the law has worked for you. And once you have this proof, you shall never again believe the lie that money must take time. You will know by experience that the word spoken in faith is law, and law is swift, unfailing, and exact. So expect your demonstration. Watch for it with gladness. Receive it with thanksgiving. And when it appears, testify of it, so others may be lifted in faith as well. For what you are about to prove is not only for you, but for all who shall hear of it. Beloved soul, you have heard the truth. You have seen the demonstrations, and you have activated your faith. Now I must give you the exact practice, the holy ritual by which you shall manifest money within 24 hours. These steps are simple, but they are sacred. Follow them tonight, and you will prove the law. The first step is release. You cannot go to your rest with heavy burdens and expect miracles to flow. Release all fear, all resentment, all worry. Say aloud with me now. I release every fear about money. I release every fear about tomorrow. I forgive all, I am forgiven, and I rest in divine peace. Do you feel the chains falling away? This is the clearing of the soil. No seed can grow in soil filled with weeds. You must clear the ground so the seed of your word may take root. The second step is decree. Choose your word as carefully as a king chooses his command, for your word is law. Speak your decree aloud, in the present tense, as if it were already so. If you desire money, say, large sums of money come to me quickly, easily, and under grace. I am divinely supplied, and I receive money within 24 hours. Beloved, you must speak with certainty. Do not say, I hope, or I wish. Say, I receive. For the law does not respond to hope, it responds to faith. The third step is vision. Close your eyes and see yourself already in possession of the money. See the envelope in your hand. See the account filled. See the gift given. Do not see the lack, see the supply. Do not imagine the struggle, imagine the success. For as I have told you before, you can only receive what you see yourself receiving. The fourth step is release again. After you decree and see, you must let it go. Do not dig up the seed with doubt. Do not whisper, but what if it does not come? Leave it in the soil of spirit and rest. Say within yourself, it is finished. Divine law now fulfills it. I release it into perfect hands. This is the holy surrender. Without surrender, faith is incomplete. The fifth step is thanksgiving. Gratitude is the water that nourishes the seed. Before you sleep, let your last words be praise. Whisper, thank you, Father, for the miracle already done. I rejoice, for my supply is swift and certain. Let your heart rest in joy, for joy is the surest sign of faith. Now, beloved, as you pass into sleep, keep these words on your lips and these images in your heart. Do not let fear be your last companion. Let faith be your pillow and thanksgiving your blanket. For in the night, while you rest, divine law will be at work, arranging, delivering, fulfilling, and when you awake, you must walk in expectancy. Look for signs of supply. Pay attention to sudden ideas, unexpected conversations, surprising opportunities. Spirit moves in many ways, but always in perfect ways. Do not dismiss the small, for the small is often the doorway to the great. Rejoice in every sign, and give thanks as the money flows. This, beloved, is the 24-hour ritual. Release, decree, see, release again, and give thanks. Do it tonight, and you shall have proof tomorrow. Let us seal it now with one final decree cycle. Speak it with me slowly and with power. I release every burden, and I rest in peace. I decree my abundance now, and the law fulfills it swiftly. I see myself already supplied, money in my hand. I release it to spirit, and it is finished. I give thanks with joy, for the miracle is already here. There, beloved, your work is done. The decree is spoken. The law is set in motion. Supply is on its way. Do not question, do not doubt. Rest in expectancy and rejoice in advance. For the law cannot fail. And within 24 hours, you shall see it with your eyes. Beloved soul, you have spoken your decree. You have planted the seed, and the law is already at work. Comes the holy posture you must keep in these next 24 hours. Expectancy. It is not enough to decree once, and then return to worry. You must live as though the decree is already fulfilled. You must walk, speak, and breathe in the spirit of excited expectancy. What is expectancy? It is faith clothed in joy. It is the child who, on Christmas Eve, sleep, not from fear, but from delight. It is the soul who knows the gift is already chosen, already wrapped, already on its way. Expectancy is not straining. Expectancy is not begging. Expectancy is quiet confidence, joyous anticipation, the readiness to receive. The world calls it waiting. Spirit calls it rejoicing in advance. When you expect, you prepare your house for the guest. You set the table before the food arrives. You open the door before the knock is heard. You rejoice before the supply is seen, is expectancy, and it is the magnet of miracle. So in these next 24 hours, I charge you to live in expectancy. When you wake, say within yourself, "This is the day of my demonstration. This is the hour of my supply." Do not drag through the day in doubt, looking at clocks and calendars. Live as though the answer is already here, for indeed it is. Let us affirm it now together. I live in joyful expectancy, for my miracle is already done. I walk through this day as one supplied, prosperous, and free. I rejoice before I see, and by rejoicing, I attract swiftly. Who, beloved? Expectancy also requires alertness. Spirit speaks through signs, through whispers, through sudden leadings. You may feel an urge to check a message, to make a call, to step into a place you had not planned. Do not dismiss these nudges, for they are often the pathways of your supply. Walk alert, ready, listening, expecting. A student once told me she had spoken her decree, but saw nothing by midday. She grew discouraged and nearly gave up. But I told her, "Hold your expectancy a little longer." That afternoon, she received a call she had not expected, and in that call came the very supply she had decreed. The law was working all along. Her expectancy was the magnet that held it in place. So you too must remain in expectancy, even if the hours pass silently. Do not say, "Nothing is happening." Say, "Everything is happening in the unseen, and it shall soon appear." Do not say, "Perhaps tomorrow." Say, "It is now." This very day is blessed, for expectancy keeps the door open wide. Doubt closes it. Let us speak again. I expect only good, and good rushes swiftly to me. My supply is certain. My abundance is assured. Every hour is filled with signs of my miracle. I hold the door open with joyful expectancy. Beloved soul, keep also your words guarded in these 24 hours. Do not cancel your decree with idle speech. Do not say, "I hope it comes." It may not work. Speak only as one who expects. Speak only words of thanksgiving, only words of certainty. The tongue is a rudder. It steers the ship of your life. Keep it pointed toward abundance, and abundance must come. You must also rejoice. Rejoicing is expectancy in motion. Give thanks as though the money were already in your hand. Smile as though the burden were already lifted. Praise as though the miracle were already manifest. For rejoicing raises your vibration to the level of your decree, and law fulfills what matches your vibration. Let us rejoice together now with these words. I rejoice in advance, for my miracle is already complete. I laugh with joy, knowing my abundance appears swiftly. I give thanks for money that flows to me within 24 hours. Carry this spirit of joy with you all day. If worry comes knocking, answer it with praise. If doubt whispers, answer with thanksgiving. If fear tries to rise, speak the decree again. But above all, remain in expectancy, for expectancy is the proof of faith. Beloved, do not measure by sight. Do not say, I see nothing yet. The roots of the seed are spreading underground, unseen but unstoppable. So too is your supply moving toward you, invisible but inevitable. You need not see the process, you need only expect the result. I tell you, this expectancy makes you magnetic. People will feel drawn to give. Opportunities will feel drawn to your path. Ideas will be born in your mind. Doors will open. You shall attract, not chase. You shall receive, not strive. For expectancy aligns you with the very frequency of abundance. One more time, seal it in your heart with me. I live in expectancy, and I attract miracles swiftly. I keep my vibration in joy, and money flows to me now. Nothing can delay my good, for divine law is immediate. I rejoice, I expect, I receive. They hold to these words, beloved soul. Live them, breathe them, walk them through this day. For when you abide in expectancy, you cannot be disappointed. The law is faithful, and within 24 hours, your proof shall appear. Beloved soul, the word has been spoken, the law has been set in motion, and the truth has been revealed. You did not come here by chance. Spirit led you to this very moment, because it is time for you to prove the power of divine law. You have heard how to dissolve delay. You have activated faith. You have received the ritual. You have stepped into expectancy. And now, you stand on the threshold of demonstration. I tell you with all certainty, within 24 hours, money shall appear for you. It may come as a gift. It may come as opportunity. It may come as a release of funds you thought delayed. The form matters not. The law is creative, infinite, and precise. But it shall come, and it shall come swiftly. For Spirit has heard your decree. Spirit cannot fail. So, go forth from this message with joy. Do not question how, for the how belongs to God. Do not measure when, for the law is already at work. Do not rehearse lack, for lack is a shadow, and shadows vanish when light appears. Hold fast to the truth. Your supply is here now, and within 24 hours it shall be visible. Let us seal this with decree. Speak with me, and pause after each. This silence echo in your heart. Divine law is immediate, and my supply comes now. Within 24 hours, money appears in perfect ways. I am aligned with abundance, and nothing can withhold it from me. My word is my wand, and I decree money flows to me now. Rest in these words, beloved. They are not empty. They are living. They are Spirit's command written upon your heart. When you speak them, heaven moves, doors open, angels hasten. The unseen rushes into the seen. And what you once called impossible becomes your reality. I give you this prophecy before these 24 hours are complete. You shall know by proof that the law works. You shall hold in your hand the money that seemed far off. You shall see with your eyes the demonstration that dissolves doubt. You shall rejoice, for your faith shall be rewarded openly. When it comes, do not call it chance. Do not call it coincidence. Call it by its true name, demonstration. Give thanks, rejoice, and testify. For your miracle is not only for you, but for all who shall hear of it. Your proof will lift another. Your testimony will break another's chain. That is how Spirit works. Blessing multiplied through demonstration. So tonight, go to your rest in peace. Let your last thought be thanksgiving. Your last word be decree. Your last feeling be expectancy. Rest as one who has placed the order and knows delivery is certain. Awake tomorrow ready to receive. And when the money appears, lift your voice in gratitude, saying, "This is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in my eyes." And now, beloved, let us seal this activation with one final cycle of affirmation. Speak it as if you were stamping the decree upon the universe itself. I release every fear, and I rest in faith. My supply is immediate, my abundance is assured. Within 24 hours, money flows to me freely and swiftly. I rejoice, for divine law has fulfilled my decree. So it is. It is finished. The word is spoken, the law is fulfilled, and your miracle is at hand. Beloved soul, walk in expectancy, rejoice in advance, and watch with delight as your demonstration of money appears within 24 hours.
Beloved, money will never answer to stress. The more you worry about it, the further it runs from you. Stress is not a magnet for supply, it is a wall that blocks it. The truth is this: the moment you fear lack, you invite lack. But the moment you expect abundance, you open the floodgates of heaven. I tell you now, if you are lying awake at night rehearsing bills in your mind, if your chest tightens at the thought of tomorrow's needs, if you are begging the universe to send money while your heart trembles in doubt, you are sending out the wrong decree. The law responds not to panic, but to faith. Spirit does not move because you fear. Spirit moves because you trust. Hear me well. Your stress about money is a false god. It demands your worship, your energy, your peace, and it gives you nothing in return. But faith in divine supply, faith in the God who owns the cattle on 1,000 hills, that faith produces miracles. You must choose today which altar you kneel at, the altar of fear or the altar of faith. So speak with me now, not in trembling but in triumph. I do not stress about money. I am supplied, I am provided, I am prospered under grace and in perfect ways. Hold this truth, beloved, and you will see your life rearranged. Beloved, stress is the great thief of your abundance. It parades itself as concern, as caution, as responsibility. But do not be deceived. Stress is not wisdom, it is worship at the wrong altar. It bows before fear and crowns lack as king. And what you worship, you magnify. What you magnify, you manifest. Think for a moment. When you stress about money, where is your faith? Is it in the God of endless supply? Or is it in the illusion of bills, debts, and numbers that seem too large to bear? Stress is misplaced faith. It is faith in shortage, faith in delay, faith in failure. And as long as you bow before that false god, you cut yourself off from the true source of all provision. The law is simple. What you fear, you draw near. What you expect, you invite in. Stress is constant fear, rehearsed day and night. It says, What if the money doesn't come? What if I can't pay this? What if I lose everything? And as these words flow through your mind and out of your lips, you are writing invitations to lack. But listen closely, beloved. You do not have to live this way. Florence Scovel Shinn declared, "Fear is only inverted faith. It is faith in evil instead of good. Stress is nothing but fear stretched thin across your days, and fear, once unmasked, has no power. It is an illusion that crumbles when the light of truth shines upon it. The truth is that God is your supply, not man, not wages, not circumstance. If one channel closes, another opens. If one door shuts, heaven swings wide another. You are never without supply because you are never without God." Let me give you a picture. Imagine standing with your hands clenched tightly in fists. Inside those fists, you clutch worry, fear, and stress. Now imagine Spirit trying to pour blessings into your hands. Can you receive them with closed fists? No. Your grip must release. Stress is the clenched fist. Faith is the open hand. When you open your hand, when you let go of fear, the flow of supply rushes in to fill it. I have seen it countless times. A woman fears she cannot pay her rent, so she rehearses worry until it drains her strength. Yet the moment she surrenders and says, "God is my supply," and supply is endless, suddenly a new source opens, an unexpected check arrives, an opportunity appears. Was it magic? No, beloved, it was law. Stress blocked it. Faith released it. Stress convinces you that you must carry the entire burden yourself. It whispers, "If you don't figure this out, you'll fail." But faith says, "Rest." Divine intelligence is already arranging the way. Stress is self-reliance in disguise, but faith is God-reliance in truth. When you lean on your own understanding, the weight is crushing. But when you lean on the everlasting arms, you find peace and provision flowing freely. Hear me. Money does not come because you worry over it. Money comes because you align with the law of supply. Worry repels it. Trust attracts it. Stress is wasted energy, a counterfeit form of prayer that produces no answer. Each anxious thought is like knocking on a locked door, when all along there is an open gate behind you. Turn around, stop pounding on lack, and start walking through the gate of abundance. So how do you break the spell of stress? By declaring the truth louder than the lies. Each time your chest tightens at the sight of a bill, speak over it. This is already paid in full. God is my banker, Spirit is my source, and I do not stress about money. Each time you worry about tomorrow's needs, say boldly, "My supply is endless, my provision is secure, money comes to me easily and on time." Replace every fear thought with a faith decree, and the false god of stress will crumble under your feet. Beloved, stress is not a badge of honor. It is not proof that you are responsible. True responsibility is alignment with divine law. True wisdom is knowing that your part is to speak the word, to expect supply, to walk in gratitude, and to leave the how and when to Spirit. Stress says, "I must figure it out." Faith says, "It is already figured out." Stress says, "I have no way." Faith says, "God makes a way where there is no way." Today, lay down the idol of stress. Refuse to worship it another moment. Lift your eyes to the true source, open your hands to receive, and speak the decree that will realign your life. I do not stress about money. I am supplied, I am prospered. I am provided for, under grace and in perfect ways. Let that be your anthem, your prayer, your shield against fear, and watch as the illusion of lack dissolves and the reality of abundance flows in. Beloved, one of the greatest secrets of divine law is what Florence Scovel Shinn called the law of substitution. It is the understanding that you cannot hold two thoughts at the same time. One must always drive out the other. Light and darkness cannot occupy the same space. Fear and faith cannot sit on the same throne. Stress and peace cannot rule the same heart. So if stress has claimed its place in your mind, you cannot beg it to leave. You must replace it. You substitute fear with faith, worry with decree, lack with abundance. This is the way to break the pattern. Every time you find yourself circling the same anxious thought, how will I pay this? What if I don't have enough? What if it doesn't come in time? You must immediately substitute it with truth. Declare boldly, I never stress about money. My supply is endless and always on time. Speak it, feel it, and see it until the worry fades into silence. Let me tell you this, nature abhors a vacuum. If you rip out weeds and plant nothing in their place, the weeds will return. So it is with the mind. If you silence worry without filling the space with truth, worry will creep back in. This is why substitution is so powerful. It ensures that what once was filled with fear is now filled with faith. Every time fear arises, you respond with decree, and in time, faith becomes your automatic response. Think of it this way. If a child is crying over a toy they lost, you do not only tell them to stop crying, you give them another toy, something greater, something that captures their attention. Soon the tears dry, and the smile returns. Beloved, your mind is that child. Stress is the broken toy. Faith is the gift placed in its hands. The moment you give it faith, the tears of fear vanish. Florence said, a person knowing the power of the word becomes very careful of his conversation. Why? Because words are the tools of substitution. When you hear yourself say, I can't afford this, you must immediately substitute. I have endless supply, and what is mine comes to me with ease. When you hear yourself say, money is running out, replace it instantly. Money flows freely to me, and I am always taken care of. The law works every time you apply it. You may say, but Florence, what if I don't feel it yet? Beloved, the feeling will follow the word if you persist. You cannot always control the first thought of fear, but you can control the second. You may not choose the shadow that tries to creep in, but you can light the lamp that sends it fleeing. Substitution is your lamp. Use it until it becomes your habit. Let us practice now. When stress whispers, there isn't enough, answer, there is always more than enough. When fear says, I am late, I am behind, I am sinking, substitute, my supply is always on time, never late, never lacking. When lack sneers, you will never be free. Replace it with, I am free, I am rich, I am prosperous, in mind, body, and affairs. Each substitution plants a seed, and seeds do not remain seeds, they grow into harvests. Beloved, this is not pretending, this is aligning. You are not lying to yourself, you are reminding yourself of the truth Spirit has already declared. Stress is the lie, lack is the illusion, fear is the shadow. The truth is that you are always supplied, always guided, always cared for. Substitution is the way you shift your mind from the lie back to the truth. And do not grow weary if the substitutions are many at first. The soil of your mind may be overrun with weeds from years of worry, but every weed you pull and replace with faith is one step closer to a garden of abundance. In time, the weeds grow fewer, the flowers spread wider, and peace becomes the natural landscape of your soul. So here is your practice. Listen carefully to your own words. Catch the whispers of stress before they grow into shouts, and every time they appear, substitute immediately with a decree of truth. Train your tongue to serve faith, and soon your mind will follow. Train your mind to serve abundance, and soon your life will mirror it. Speak with me now, as a seal upon this section. I never stress about money. My supply is endless and always on time. Money flows freely to me, and I am always provided for under grace and in perfect ways. Let this substitution take root in you, and watch as fear loses its place, stress dissolves, and abundance takes its rightful throne. Beloved, the imagination is the workshop of spirit. What you see inwardly, you magnetize outwardly. This is why stress is so destructive. It forces you to rehearse lack in the theater of your mind. You picture bills piling higher. You imagine bank accounts running dry. You feel the weight of not enough pressing down on you. And because your inner vision is focused on shortage, shortage takes root in your affairs. But hear me clearly. You can turn the tide by painting a new picture. What you visualize with faith, you materialize with certainty. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that your word and your imagination must agree. The spoken word sends out the decree, and imagination clothes it in form. If you say, I am rich, but still see yourself in rags, the decree is weakened. But if you say, I am rich, and then see yourself clothed in plenty, walking in peace, living in abundance, then heaven rushes to confirm your vision. The two must walk hand in hand, decree and picture, affirmation and imagination. So let us practice now. Close your eyes, beloved, and imagine before you every bill that once caused you distress. See them not as weights upon your soul, but as slips of paper stamped boldly with red letters, paid in full. See the ink shining, feel the relief rising in your chest, hear yourself whisper, it is done. Do not see the mountain of debt, see the freedom of deliverance. Do not feel the chain of burden, feel the wings of release. Now, go further. Picture your wallet or your purse, not empty, not thin, but full, so full it hardly closes. See your bank account, the numbers not dwindling but multiplying. See the checks arriving, the payments flowing, the opportunities opening. Let your mind become a screen upon which Spirit paints provision. And do not only see it, feel it. Feel what it would be like to walk into a store without fear, to pay a bill without worry, to give freely without shrinking back. Feel the calm of knowing that money comes easily, that supply is always on time, that you are never left out, never forgotten, never in want. That feeling is faith clothed in emotion, and Spirit responds to feeling with the same force it responds to words. The law says, whatsoever things you desire, when you pray, believe you have received them, and you shall have them. To believe is not to wish, it is to feel as though it is already done. When you walk in the vibration of already mine, the outer world rearranges to match. The unpaid bill turns to paid, the empty hand turns to full, the worry turns to peace. So each time stress whispers lack, do not argue with it. Close your eyes, speak your decree, and paint a new picture. Say aloud, money flows freely to me, and I am always provided for. Then imagine money flowing like a river toward you, streams of supply from every direction, covering every need, overflowing into every corner of your life. Say, my supply is endless, my provision is secure. Then see yourself resting in peace, smiling with joy, walking in confidence. Beloved, your visualization is not fantasy, it is prophecy. You are not pretending when you imagine, you are planting seeds. Stress imagines disaster and reaps disaster. Faith imagines abundance and reaps abundance. Choose this day what picture you will allow in your mind, for the picture you hold is the harvest you shall see. Practice this daily. In the morning, before stress has a chance to enter, close your eyes and see the day already supplied. At night, before sleep carries you into dreams, see tomorrow's needs already met. Let your imagination be disciplined, not wandering to fear but anchored in faith. And soon, your subconscious will believe it, and what the subconscious accepts, life delivers. Remember, beloved, you are not bound by what the outer world shows. The outer is but a reflection of the inner. Change the picture within, and the outer must follow. Bills may arrive, but you need not tremble. Instead, you look at them and say, this is already paid. Angels of supply are at work. I am rich, I am free, I am provided for under grace. And so it will be. Let us seal this practice now with a decree and vision combined. Say with me, I do not stress about money. I see myself rich. I feel myself provided for. I know my supply is endless and always on time. Money flows to me in perfect ways, under grace, and I rest in peace. Hold that picture, beloved. Feel that truth. For what you see with faith, you shall surely receive. Beloved, truth without practice is like a lamp without oil. It may shine for a moment, but soon the flame dies. To keep the light of abundance burning, you must feed it daily. This is why affirmations are not optional, they are essential. They are the rhythm of faith, the heartbeat of manifestation. Each decree spoken in faith is a spark, and when repeated daily, those sparks ignite into a fire that no wind of worry can extinguish. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that you must train your mind to speak only what you want to see. The tongue is the gatekeeper of your destiny, and daily affirmations are how you keep that gate aligned with truth. Stress wants to slip in through careless words, through sighs of defeat, through constant complaints. But affirmations slam the gate shut to fear and open it wide to supply. So, here is your daily practice. In the morning, before the world distracts you, stand still and declare, God is my supply, and my supply is endless. I begin this day rich in faith, rich in peace, and rich in provision. I do not stress about money, for money flows to me in perfect ways, under grace. Repeat it 3 times, not as empty words, but as living decree. Let each word carry authority, as if the universe itself must bow in agreement. As you speak, see the day unfolding in abundance. During the day, whenever stress tries to rise, answer it immediately with affirmation. If you feel fear about a bill, place your hand over it and declare, this is already paid in full. The same spirit that created the universe provides for me now. I walk in perfect supply. If you catch yourself worrying about tomorrow, stop at once and say, my future is secure. Money comes to me easily, effortlessly, and on time. I am always taken care of, under grace and in perfect ways. Do not wait for stress to grow strong before you speak. Cut it off at the root with swift decree. Remember the law of substitution. Every fear must be replaced by faith, every worry by a word of truth. And at night, before you close your eyes, release the burdens of the day with this lullaby of affirmation. I rest in divine abundance. I sleep surrounded by angels of supply. No lack can touch me, no worry can bind me, for I am provided for as I dream. I wake refreshed, renewed, and rich in every way. Make these affirmations your companions. Write them on slips of paper and place them where your eyes will fall on your mirror, your wallet, your desk. Record them in your own voice and play them as you fall asleep. Whisper them as you walk, speak them as you drive, declare them as you cook. Let them become as natural as breathing. Beloved, repetition is not weakness, it is strength. The subconscious does not change by hearing truth once, but by hearing it again and again until it becomes the only truth it knows. Just as water, drop by drop, carves stone, so do affirmations, word by word, carve new realities in your life. Stress may have written its story on your heart for years, but affirmations rewrite it line by line until lack is erased and abundance remains. Let me give you a rhythm you can carry daily. I do not stress about money. God is my source, and supply is unlimited. Money flows to me freely and abundantly. All my bills are paid in full, under grace and in perfect ways. I live in ease, not struggle. I rest in faith, not fear. Wealth surrounds me. Prosperity fills me. Abundance follows me. Say them morning, noon, and night. Let them sink so deep that when stress tries to knock, these words answer instead. Remember this: affirmations are not begging, they are commanding. You are not asking the universe to consider your request. You are declaring what is already true by divine law. Money is not outside you, teasing you like a cruel master. It is already yours in the unseen, waiting for your decree to call it forth. Each affirmation is a call, and supply always answers. So take up this practice, beloved. Do not let a day pass without clothing yourself in affirmations. Just as you would not step into the cold without a coat, do not step into the world without your decrees. They are your shield, your magnet, your guarantee of peace. And soon, you will notice, stress will fade, fear will weaken, lack will dissolve. In its place will rise a steady calm, a quiet confidence, a radiant flow of provision. You will live in the truth that has always been yours. I never stress about money. My supply is endless and always on time. Beloved, we have walked together through the valley of fear, and we have seen that stress is a false master, powerless to rule the child of God. We have uncovered the law that decrees abundance. We have practiced substitution. We have painted visions of overflow, and we have armed ourselves with daily affirmations. Now it is time to seal this truth with the decree that drives stress away forever. The word decree means more than a wish, more than a hope. It is a law spoken aloud. When a king issues a decree, it does not beg, it commands. When you decree with faith, you are not pleading with the universe. You are commanding spirit to align with its own truth. You are exercising your divine right to live free, to live supplied, to live prospered. This is why Florence Scovel Shinn often reminded us, your word is your wand. The wand is not waved in silence, it is spoken. So hear me now. Your days of stressing over money are finished. The false altar of fear is torn down. You no longer serve the god of anxiety, the idol of worry, the shadow of lack. You serve only the living source, the God of endless supply, the spirit that knows no limit. And from this moment forward, you will walk in peace, not panic. You will walk in expectation, not stress. You will walk in the rhythm of provision, not the grasp of fear. Let us decree it together with authority. Speak it boldly, speak it with the voice of certainty, speak it as though the very air must obey. I do not stress about money. I am supplied. I am provided for. I am prospered under grace and in perfect ways. My supply is endless. My provision is secure, and my prosperity flows without interruption. Money comes to me easily, effortlessly, and on time. All that belongs to me by divine right cannot be withheld, and it arrives now in perfect form. Say it again, with greater force. I do not stress about money. Stress has no place in me, for I live in faith. I live in abundance. I live in peace. God is my source, and God never fails. Beloved, let this decree sink into your spirit until it becomes the song of your soul. Stress cannot survive where this word is spoken. Lack cannot linger where this decree is alive. You are not calling something that does not exist. You are claiming what has always been yours. Supply was finished before your need arose. Provision was prepared before the bill arrived. Money was placed in your orbit before the worry ever entered your mind. You are not out of supply, you are only out of alignment. And with this decree, alignment is restored. Walk from this moment with new eyes. When you see a bill, do not see stress. See the words, paid in full. When you see your wallet, do not see lack, see overflow. When you think of tomorrow, do not see uncertainty. See provision already on the way. Let every step be accompanied by the rhythm of this truth. I do not stress about money. My supply is endless. My provision is secure. My prosperity is guaranteed. And when fear tries to return, for it always will, do not tremble. Answer it at once with decree. Do not let a single anxious thought linger unchallenged. Replace it. Substitute it. Command it to leave. Say aloud, I rest in abundance. I walk in faith. I live in divine supply. And watch as the shadow dissolves before the light of your words. Beloved, stress is no longer your master. You have broken its chains with the wand of your word. You have substituted fear with faith, lack with supply, worry with peace. Now, stand tall, speak boldly, and live freely. For your decree has gone forth, and it will not return void. It will accomplish what you have spoken. So let us seal it one final time. I never stress about money. My supply is endless and always on time. I am prospered. I am provided for. I am at peace. Under grace, in perfect ways, my abundance flows now. And so it island. Now, beloved, go in peace, go in confidence, go in prosperity. For the law is fulfilled, the decree is sealed, and your stress has been turned into supply.
What if the most powerful creative force in your life wasn't your ambition, your hard work, or even your prayers? What if it was your complaints?
What if every casual sigh, every worried whisper was actually a clear blueprint being sent to a universe that only knows how to say yes? By the end of this video, you will hold the 3 sacred phrases that function as the master keys to creation. You will understand how to stop accidentally using your divine power to build a life of lack, and you will learn to consciously speak your desired world into being, one gentle, intentional word at a time. Stay with me, and you will remember the language you were born to speak. The central spiritual principle we are exploring today is one of the most direct and unforgiving laws in the universe, the law of the spoken word. This is not a metaphor. It is a divine mechanic. The great spiritual teacher Florence Scovel Shinn stated it with perfect clarity when she taught that your word is your wand. Every word you speak is imbued with a creative, magical power. The question is not whether you are using your wand, but what spells you have been casting over your own life. Your voice is the bridge between the invisible realm of infinite possibility and the visible world of your physical experience. Every sentence you utter, every word you repeat in the quiet of your own mind, is a command given to the most faithful and powerful servant in existence, your own subconscious mind. This deep inner self does not argue, it does not judge, and it does not question your worthiness. It simply accepts as truth whatever you consistently feel and declare to be true. And once it accepts a truth, it moves all of creation, rearranges circumstance, and influences the world around you to bring that truth into solid form. Now, listen closely, beloved, for this is where the wires get crossed. This is where sacred power becomes a source of pain. I know that quiet, weary voice that lives inside of you. It's that cold feeling in your stomach when you open your banking app, bracing for the number. It's the silent, frantic calculation in the grocery store aisle as you decide what you can afford and what you must put back. It's the hollow ache of disappointment when another opportunity passes you by. It's the familiar story you tell yourself, the one that concludes with a heavy sigh, "I'm just not one of the lucky ones." That voice, that internal monologue of quiet defeat, that is the blueprint you have been handing to your faithful servant. Those words are the spells you have been casting. You have been speaking a fluent and consistent language of limitation, and the universe, in its perfect impersonal love, has been honoring every single one of your declarations. It cannot interpret the longing behind your words. It does not register the hope buried beneath your fear. It executes the command, not the subtext. When you stand in your kitchen and say, "I am so exhausted," the universe does not hear the subtext. "I am in deep need of rest and support." It hears a clear, concise order, "I am exhausted." And it responds with perfect obedience. Yes, your order for more exhaustion is being prepared. When you tell a friend, "I'm always broke before payday," you believe you are simply describing a fact. But in the language of creation, there is no such thing as a neutral description. There is only declaration. The universe hears a decree, an identity you are claiming, "I am broke." And the subconscious mind, that loyal servant, immediately gets to work, arranging the subtle details of your reality to ensure that your world perfectly matches the words you have spoken. And here is the truth that will set you free. This is not a punishment. It is not a cosmic test. This law isn't moved by deserving or by how hard you've worked. It is moved only by the clarity and the consistency of the instructions you repeat. The profound truth is this: you have been a powerful creator your entire life. You have never once failed at this. You have been succeeding with breathtaking precision at creating a life that perfectly reflects your most dominant words and beliefs. The power has been in your mouth this whole time, and today you are not learning a new power. You are simply remembering how to aim it. You are remembering the native tongue of your soul, the language of miracles, and it begins with 3 sacred phrases. Let us now speak of the first and most foundational of these phrases. It is the very name of creation, the declaration of divine identity, and the most potent command you will ever speak. The first phrase is, I am. These 2 words are the engine of reality. They are a direct line to the heart of divine substance. Whatever words you attach to I am become the living mold into which your life experience is poured. When you say, I am, you are not merely expressing a temporary feeling. You are making a statement of being. You are issuing a decree from the throne of your own consciousness. For years, perhaps for a lifetime, you have unconsciously used this sacred name to define yourself by your limitations. I am struggling. I am not confident. I am overwhelmed. With each utterance, you have taken the divine power of I am and used it to reinforce the very walls of the prison you wish to escape. But today, that pattern is broken. Today, you reclaim this holy name and begin using it as the divine tool it was always meant to be, a tool for building your heaven on earth. Here is your first sacred task. It is simple and it is potent. For the next 24 hours, your goal is simply to catch and flip this phrase 3 times. Just 3. Become a loving guardian of your words, and if you can notice yourself saying, I am, followed by a limitation just 3 times and gently rephrase it, that is a profound victory. Instead of catching yourself saying, I am so tired, you will lovingly correct it to, I am restoring my divine energy. Instead of the familiar refrain, I am broke, you will speak from a higher reality. I am a steward of divine wealth, and my supply is infinite. Instead of, I am always anxious about this, you will affirm with quiet power, I am divinely peaceful and all is well in my world. I know that at first, this may feel awkward. It may feel like you are lying to yourself. That feeling is simply the resistance of the old pattern. Remember, every language feels strange until you become fluent. You are unlearning the heavy dialect of human struggle and relearning the light, effortless language of your spirit. Be patient. Be gentle with yourself. The universe has infinite grace for a soul who is sincerely trying to speak the language of truth. Now we come to the second sacred phrase. This is how you begin to anchor your new reality in the world that already exists. This is how you provide your own subconscious mind with the evidence it needs to believe in your new story. The second phrase is, I have. This is more than a simple gratitude practice, though gratitude is its beautiful result. This is a sacred act of spiritual accounting. You must understand, the subconscious mind does not learn from hope, it learns from evidence. Every time you declare a truth of what you have, no matter how small, you are submitting evidence for a new trial. You are building a case for your own abundance. You are retraining your inner vision to see the wealth that is so that it can call forth the wealth that is to come. This is not positive thinking. It is spiritual law in action. But listen closely, beloved, for here is the subtle error that can render this practice powerless. You cannot fake this. You cannot stand in an apartment that feels empty and declare, I have abundant love, while your heart is aching with loneliness. Your subconscious mind is a perfect emotional polygraph. It knows when your words and your feelings are in dissonance. To speak a word without the corresponding feeling is like trying to plant a seed with no soil. It has nothing to take root in. So, you must begin where you are. Start small. Feel one true thing fully. Find one thing, just one small thing, that you genuinely have and can feel a flicker of appreciation for in this very moment. It might be as simple as, I have a comfortable bed to sleep in tonight. It might be, I have this one memory that makes me smile. It might be, I have the ability to take a deep, cleansing breath. Feel the simple, quiet, undeniable truth of it. Allow the feeling of having that one good thing to settle in your body. This is how you build your I have muscle. When you do this, you are sending a powerful, coherent signal to your subconscious mind. This feeling of having, of security, of comfort, this is the state I am choosing. Bring me more circumstances that match this feeling. From that small, solid foundation, you can then gently expand your sacred inventory. I have a roof over my head. I have food in my kitchen. These are no longer just empty words. They are cosmic orders for more stability and more nourishment. You are consciously training your mind to scan for evidence of good, and whatever your mind consistently seeks, it will always find more of. This brings us to our third and final sacred phrase. This is where you take back your power from the world of conditions and circumstances. This is where you cease to be a character reacting to the plot of your life and remember that you are its divine author. The third phrase is, I choose. For so long, you may have lived under the hypnotism of helplessness, believing you are at the mercy of your boss, your finances, or your past. The language of this hypnosis sounds like, I have no choice, or this just keeps happening to me. These are the phrases of a spiritual prisoner, and they voluntarily hand your God-given power over to the shadows of the outer world. The phrase, I choose, is the key that unlocks the cell door from the inside. It is the declaration of your spiritual sovereignty. I once worked with a woman who felt deeply trapped in a job that was dimming her light. For months, she spoke only of the prison of it, the difficult boss, the endless spreadsheets. Then, one day, she decided to use this sacred phrase. She began to declare every morning, I choose to see this job as the sacred financier of my true calling. Within weeks, her energy shifted. She began to see her boss not as a tyrant, but as a teacher of patience. She saw her salary not as a chain, but as the seed money for her dream. And within 3 months, an opportunity she could have never predicted appeared, and she was set free. Not because the world changed, but because she first chose to change her world. This is the power you hold. Instead of, this terrible situation is ruining everything, your empowered spirit can say, I choose to find the hidden blessing in this challenge. Instead of, I'm stuck, your awakened mind can declare, I choose to believe my perfect path is seeking me now. The universe loves to collaborate with a co-creator who takes radical responsibility. When you use the words, I choose, you are signaling to the divine that you are no longer a passive bystander waiting to be rescued. You are an active, conscious partner in the creation of your life. Now, here is the secret element that amplifies these 3 phrases. The secret is the sacred alchemy of genuine emotion and perfect timing. The ancient mystics taught that the veil between the worlds is thinnest in the sacred moments just before you fall asleep and just as you are waking up. Let that image breathe for a moment. In these quiet hours, your conscious mind, the great gatekeeper of your doubts, is at rest. In our modern world, you might think of this as a kind of low latency mode for your soul, a direct connection to the creative subconscious, where your orders are received without delay or interference. As you lie in bed tonight, release the habit of replaying the day's worries. Instead, use these precious moments to whisper your new truths. Feel them as you speak them. I am peaceful. I have everything I need for this moment. I choose to awaken tomorrow feeling refreshed and inspired. Marry these words with a genuine feeling. Not a loud, forced enthusiasm, but a quiet, real appreciation, a gentle sense of hope. When you do this, you are actively programming your future into the very fabric of your being. Now, a word of encouragement for the journey. When you first begin this work, do not be surprised if your mind rebels. It will show you all the evidence of your old story. It will remind you of past failures. It will whisper that this is foolish and it will not work. Listen to me now. This is not a sign of failure. It is the death rattle of the old belief system. It is the static of a dying radio station. Your only job is to remain still and keep broadcasting the new frequency. The old noise will fade, not because you fight it, but because you cease to give it your attention. So, here is your sacred practice. For the next 7 days, I want you to hold these 3 phrases in your heart. Write them on a small card. I am, I have, I choose. Keep this card where you will see it constantly, by your kettle, tucked into your phone case, on your bathroom mirror. Let it be a physical anchor for your new awareness. Every time you catch yourself speaking the old, tired language of limitation, pause, take a loving breath, and gently, without judgment, translate it into the new, powerful language of your spirit. The law is not activated by your perfect faith. It is activated by your participation. Approach it like a sacred experiment. Be the gentle scientist of your own soul. Your only data will be the quiet shifts in your own spirit. The worst thing that can happen is that you will cultivate a more peaceful and loving relationship with yourself. The best thing that can happen is that you will discover you've had an open, direct line to the heart of creation this entire time. So I ask you, beloved, are you ready? Are you ready to stop accidentally asking for the very things you do not want and start consciously calling forth the life that has been waiting for you? The universe is listening. Your subconscious mind is ready, pen in hand, waiting for its next set of instructions. What new blueprint will you give it today? The power is, and always has been, in your own mouth. You are not broken. You are not flawed. You are simply remembering. Go to the space below this video and make your choice known. Let this be your first powerful, conscious decree. Declare to yourself and to the universe, I now speak the language of miracles. And after you have made your declaration, I invite you to return here in a day or a week and share one small shift you have noticed. Share one moment you caught and flipped a phrase, or one small synchronicity that appeared in your path. Your testimony will become a beacon for others. The old story is finished. The pen is in your hand. The ink is your voice. Now, speak. Imagine your life is a house being built around you, moment by moment, and your subconscious mind, it is the faithful, tireless construction crew. Every single day, you hand this crew a blueprint, the blueprint of your words. You've been living in this house for years, wondering why the walls feel crooked, why there is always a cold draft you can't locate, why it never, ever truly feels like home. You wander its halls feeling unsettled, unsafe, not understanding why it was built this way. Then one day, you have the courage to look down at the plans you've been handing your crew each morning. You see the smudged lines, the fearful notes in the margins, the measurements based on limitation, and you realize these are not the master architect's plans for your soul. They are just old, inherited scribbles of doubt. And in that moment, everything changes, because you realize you can give them a new blueprint. Your words create your world. This is not a poetic sentiment. It is a spiritual law. And whether you are aware of it or not, you are using this law every single hour of every single day. Most of us are handing our builders those same old, fearful blueprints, and then we wonder why they keep building the same crooked house. But what you are about to remember today is that you are the architect. You have always been the architect. And when you learn to deliberately, lovingly, and consciously draw up your blueprints with spiritual precision, your entire reality will have no choice but to reform itself. The old walls will dissolve, and a beautiful, true home will be built to accommodate your new declarations. This isn't magic. This is the sacred mechanics of creation. To understand why this is so potent, you must understand the nature of your own subconscious mind. It is your faithful, unquestioning construction crew. It has no sense of humor. It does not judge. It does not argue. It only builds. The blueprints you give it, your casual complaints, your whispered worries, your frustrated sighs, become its sacred instructions. It takes your every word as a direct command and gets to work, diligently building a world that reflects those commands right back to you. It does not judge. It simply creates. Your spoken words carry a specific vibration, an exact frequency. Think of them not as mere sounds, but as the ink and lines on the architectural plans for your life. These instructions have the power to reorganize matter, to call in opportunities from thin air, and to shift the very landscape of your reality. In a few moments, I will share the master blueprint with you, the specific declaration that realigns your life to its divine design. This phrase has been a quiet cornerstone for thousands of women on their journey of reclamation. It contains every spiritual element necessary for a complete and total life transformation, a return to your innate abundance, your natural harmony, and your birthright of miraculous flow. Every hour that passes is a fresh slate. It is a new, fertile moment, a new opportunity to hand your crew a new set of plans. The woman who masters the art of the hourly declaration becomes an unstoppable force of nature, not through aggression or hustle, but through quiet, unshakable conviction. She is constantly, gently, redrawing the blueprints of her reality in the rich soil of her own consciousness. While others are shivering in the drafty houses of circumstance, she is the one who stands in a home filled with light and warmth, a home she designed herself. The true power is found in consistency, not in complexity. A single, simple declaration, repeated with feeling throughout your day, creates a sacred momentum. It is a gentle hum that begins in your cells and builds into a symphony of miraculous results. Your conscious, loving participation in this process accelerates your manifestation beyond what most people allow themselves to experience in an entire lifetime. This is not a new power. It is an ancient one. When the great spiritual masters of history spoke, they did not plead. They did not beg. They did not hope. They declared. They declared their faith. They declared their victory. They declared their connection to the divine. These were not desperate pleas thrown into the void. They were confident, knowing declarations that activated the full force of divine intelligence. Your hourly practice connects you to this very same transformative power. It is a quiet communion. The technique centers on one carefully chosen declaration that aligns your entire being, your mind, your heart, your soul, with the reality you desire to experience. This phrase becomes your spiritual tuning fork, and with each repetition, you bring every area of your life, your finances, your relationships, your health, your purpose, into resonant harmony with divine order. Repetition creates resonance, and resonance creates reality. A critical piece of this remembering is that your declaration must feel true in the moment you speak it, even if the walls around you still feel crooked. Truth, you see, exists first in the invisible realm of consciousness. It is a finished blueprint, a perfect design, held in the mind of the divine. Your words are the bridge. They are the sacred messengers that travel between these two dimensions, calling forth into the visible world of form that which already exists for you in potential. The universe doesn't respond to sporadic effort or half-hearted wishes. It responds to sustained, focused intention. A declaration spoken once is a single drop of rain in the desert. It carries minimal power. But a declaration spoken consistently, hourly, with feeling and with faith, becomes a steady, nourishing river that can turn that desert into a lush and vibrant oasis. Your hourly practice becomes an intimate conversation with life itself. With each declaration, you are not demanding, but rather aligning. You are clarifying your signal. You are requesting specific demonstrations of your own highest good. So many of us have tried affirmations and felt them fall flat. We've wondered why they seem so ineffective. The difference lies in two things: frequency and conviction. Random positive statements, spoken once in the morning and then forgotten, lack the focused energy needed to penetrate the powerful fortress of the subconscious mind. Old beliefs are stubborn. They are like well-worn grooves in a record. To create a new groove, a new pattern, you need loving, gentle repetition. Hourly declarations create the persistent, repetitive impression necessary for deep, lasting, permanent change. The mechanics are simple. It's all vibration. Every word you speak carries a specific energy, a specific frequency. That energy either aligns with or disrupts the frequency of your desired outcome. Words of complaint, criticism, fear, and doubt vibrate at a low, heavy frequency. Naturally, they attract more experiences that match that same heavy feeling. Words of declaration, appreciation, trust, and faith vibrate at a high, light frequency. And they, in turn, attract experiences that match that elevated, beautiful state. It is simply the law of resonance. Like attracts like. Your hourly declaration serves as a gentle reset button for your consciousness. Life will happen. Challenges will arise. The phone will ring with difficult news. A bill will arrive in the mail. In those moments, your human mind will naturally be pulled toward the problem. Your scheduled statement, your sacred pause, is the practice that lovingly redirects your focus back to the solution, back to the truth, back to the divine power that is always, always at your disposal. This consistent, gentle realignment keeps you operating from a space of infinite possibility rather than perceived limitation. To do this effectively, we must understand the anatomy of a truly powerful declaration. Think of it as a sacred recipe. For it to work, for it to truly catalyze change, it must contain 5 essential ingredients. First is identity. Declarations of identity carry the most power because they address who you are at your core, not just what you want to have. When you declare your essential nature, as abundant, as whole, as divinely loved, the universe must rearrange circumstances to match the truth of your claimed identity. This is why all true, lasting transformation begins within. Second, present tense language. This is crucial. The subconscious mind, your faithful servant, lives only in the now. It has no concept of the future. Declarations made in the present tense, using words like I am and now, create immediate alignment with your intended reality. You are not waiting for it. You are embodying it. Third is alignment language. Using words like harmony, flow, and alignment signal to the universe that you are choosing cooperation over resistance. This spirit of cooperation removes internal friction and dramatically accelerates manifestation. Fourth is comprehensive good. Instead of fragmenting your attention across a dozen different desires, a single, well-crafted, comprehensive declaration addresses every aspect of your life that requires upliftment. This unified approach creates a coherent, powerful vibration that produces coherent, powerful results. And fifth, the most beautiful ingredient is the acknowledgement of grace. The most powerful declarations conclude with a surrender to a higher wisdom. Phrases like under grace or in miraculous ways signal your trust in methods beyond your human comprehension. Grace removes the struggle, the effort, and the strain from the entire process. It is the art of allowing. This is your moment of choice. This is the line in the sand, a signal to yourself and to the universe that you are no longer available for the old story. You are ready to become the conscious, loving architect of your own beautiful life. If you are ready, go to the comments below and declare with your whole heart, I am the architect of my reality. Know this. This is not just a comment. It is a vow. It is a spiritual contract you are making with yourself, and the universe, in its infinite love, will rush to honor it with demonstrable, tangible results. The hourly method works because it is a pattern interrupt. It breaks the hypnotic trance of unconscious thinking that keeps you stuck in unwanted experiences. Your conscious intervention, your sacred hourly pause, breaks this cycle completely and sets you on a new and beautiful trajectory. Your declaration becomes a beacon. Imagine a lighthouse standing on the shore, sending a powerful, focused beam of light across a dark and vast ocean. Your words, spoken with intention, send a specific, clear signal across the invisible realm of infinite possibility. And divine intelligence, like a ship's captain, sees your light and responds by arranging the circumstances, the people, the resources, and the opportunities that perfectly match your declared intention. This process requires a soft and gentle faith, especially during the invisible stages of manifestation. Your words begin working immediately in the spiritual realm, long before the results appear in your physical world. This gap, this sacred pause between the handing over of the new blueprint and the day you walk through the doors of your new home, is a test of your commitment. It is an invitation to trust. Those who persist with gentle faith through this period receive rewards that will astound them. Every time you speak your declaration, you are depositing spiritual currency into your account with the universe. These deposits accumulate interest through loving repetition. Eventually, they reach the exact balance necessary for your desired outcome to materialize, to crystallize into form. Your hourly practice ensures you are making steady, consistent deposits, rather than sporadic, forgotten contributions. And so now, having understood these foundational principles, you are ready. You are ready for the master blueprint, the specific declaration that has the power to transform lives. Set an alarm on your phone, a gentle chime for each hour of your waking day. When it sounds, pause. Take one deep, centering breath. And with quiet, calm conviction, speak these words aloud. I am in perfect harmony with infinite abundance, and all good things flow to me now under grace in miraculous ways. Let's feel into the power of each component. It begins with the words, I am. This establishes your true, unshakable identity. You are not becoming. You are. You are one with all that is. Then, in perfect harmony, this is your alignment. You are not fighting, striving, or forcing. You are in a graceful dance with the rhythm of the universe. Next, with infinite abundance. This shatters all perceived limitations. Not just some abundance, not just a little bit of supply. Infinite. It is the limitless storehouse of God, followed by, and all good things. This is comprehensive. It encompasses every possible blessing you can imagine, and even those you cannot. Financial prosperity, loving and supportive relationships, vibrant health and energy, divine creative opportunities, deep spiritual growth, and a pervasive sense of peace. Nothing beneficial is left outside of this claim. Then comes the activation. Flow to me now. This creates immediate, present moment movement. Blessings are not being chased, they are flowing to you, effortlessly. The word now eliminates all delay and commands present moment demonstration. And finally, the surrender. Under grace in miraculous ways. This is your trust. Grace removes struggle. Miraculous ways transcend human logic. This beautiful phrase allows the universe to deliver your good through channels you never could have planned, orchestrated, or imagined. The transformation will happen gradually, and then suddenly. The daily repetition creates subtle shifts in your awareness, your mood, your choices. These small changes accumulate quietly over time. Then, at a certain point, these internal shifts reach a critical mass. they bloom, and they manifest as dramatic, undeniable, external changes. Your persistence through the quiet, gradual phase is what qualifies you for the sudden, glorious breakthrough. Your external world is nothing more than a mirror reflecting your internal conversation. Change the conversation, and you change the world. The woman who speaks the language of abundance consciousness naturally attracts abundant experiences. The woman who declares her harmony with life creates harmonious circumstances. Your hourly practice ensures the consistent, loving elevation of your inner conversation. In the beginning, this will require discipline, but over time, it will become automatic. Your own internal clock, your own soul, will begin prompting you. This transition from conscious discipline to automatic knowing marks the point where the practice becomes truly, breathtakingly powerful. You were never broken, just building from the wrong blueprint. You are simply remembering the language your soul has always spoken. You are remembering how to use the power that was gifted to you at birth. You are choosing to become the conscious, loving, deliberate architect of your own beautiful life story. As you begin, you may also use these declarations to support your journey. Every hour brings perfect opportunities aligned with my highest good. Divine intelligence works perfectly through me, and my every word creates my ideal reality now. I am a divine idea in the mind of God, and I now manifest the perfect blueprint of my life. Your success with this practice will ripple outward. You become living, breathing proof that consciousness creates circumstances, that words create worlds, and that consistent, loving practice creates miracles. So, as you commit to this transformative practice, let this be your anchor. Speak it with me now, with the complete conviction of a woman reclaiming her throne. I am in perfect harmony with infinite abundance, and all good things flow to me now, under grace in miraculous ways. And so, my final question to you is this. From this moment forward, which blueprint will you choose to build your life with? The old, fearful scribbles of the past? Or the clear, powerful, loving design of the woman you are becoming? The choice has always been and will always be yours.
Let us begin by recognizing the infinite abundance that already surrounds us, even before we see it with our physical eyes. October opens its golden gates, a month where harvest is not just of fields and fruits, but of the unseen seeds planted in thought, in word, and in the quiet expectancy of the heart. The atmosphere shifts, and the universe whispers large sums between our coming. This is not a promise of struggle. It is not a message of toil. It is the natural outpouring of divine substance, moving into form, manifesting itself in ways both expected and miraculous. When we hear large sums, let us not think only of coins or paper, but of every form of increase. Prosperity in finances, yes, but also in friendships, in opportunities, in health, in love. For the law of increase knows no limitation. It is impartial, it is exact, and it responds instantly to the words spoken with faith. October is the bridge between the green abundance of summer and the quiet rest of winter. And in this bridge, hidden treasures flow. Many look at the falling leaves and see only an ending, but the awakened soul knows the truth. The leaves fall to make way for richer soil, deeper roots, and a greater harvest. So it is with us. What may appear as loss is but preparation for larger sums that are on their way, moving in the unseen currents of divine order. When we say, large sums between are coming, we affirm that our good cannot be delayed, denied, or diminished. The supply is already in place. The unseen warehouse of spirit is bursting with all that is ours by right of consciousness. It comes through channels visible and invisible. It comes through ideas that flash like lightning, through doors that swing open, through people we did not expect, through circumstances arranged with mathematical precision. We need only to declare it, accept it, and prepare room to receive it. October asks us, are you ready? Have you cleared the clutter of doubt? Have you swept aside the shadows of fear? For where doubt resides, there is no room for the new sums that press to come forth. Large sums cannot be housed in a vessel too small, too filled with yesterday's worries. Let us expand, let us stretch the imagination. Let us dare to believe in sudden, glorious increase. The law is simple: what you prepare for, you draw in. Prepare for large sums and large sums appear. Speak it in the morning. October brings large sums between. Speak it at night. My good is flowing to me now in perfect ways. Speak it when appearances deny it, for appearances are but passing phantoms, and the truth is eternal substance. October is not a waiting room, it is a delivery room. Something is being born. Large sums are not far away, they are between the seen and unseen, between thought and manifestation, between word and world. They are already on the way, carried on currents of spirit, seeking the open heart, the expectant soul, the mind that dares to affirms. This is my month of increase, and nothing can stop it. October is a season of unseen harvest and divine increase. To understand this, one must first step away from the narrow view that harvest belongs only to farmers' fields, or the cycles of nature that yield fruit and grain. Harvest is a spiritual law, as constant as the rising sun, and it moves through every life, through every thought, and through every word spoken with belief. The month of October carries a vibration of completion and fulfillment. The air turns crisp, the days shorten, and the natural world reveals a deeper rhythms. What was once unseen beneath the soil now comes forth, ready to be gathered. Just as the earth answers the seasons, the human spirit answers divine timing. What is reaped is always born of what has been sown. Even if the sowing happened long ago, in moments that seemed small, in whispers of intention, in choices made almost unconsciously. When we call October a season of unseen harvest, it reminds us that the richest fruits do not always appear in obvious places. The unseen harvest is the unfolding of prayers long spoken, the arrival of answers that have traveled invisibly, the increase that begins in the invisible realms before stepping into the visible. Faith teaches us that the unseen is often the most real, for all form begins as formless substance. Just as a seed germinates beneath the soil where no eye can follow, so too do the seeds of thought, affirmations, and inner conviction sprout in silence, hidden from the surface view, until the perfect season brings them forth in manifestation. October announces that this is the season when unseen efforts, unseen prayers, unseen alignments, and unseen preparations reveal themselves in the tangible world. Divine increase operates under law, and law cannot be broken. The earth never fails to turn on its axis, the tides never fail to answer the pull of the moon, and so it is with the law of harvest. What one has sown in consciousness, whether of faith, expectancy, generosity, or praise, must return multiplied. October serves as the reminder that this law is at work, and the returns may not always come from the same place where the seeds were sown. A kind word offered in the past may return as unexpected financial blessing. A moment of forgiveness may come back as a new door opened in career or opportunity. The unseen harvest is not bound by the rules of human logic, for divine increase flows through infinite channels. October becomes the month where doors open, seemingly of their own accord, where long blocked paths are suddenly clear, and where the heart feels the vibration of more before the eyes can see it. When we speak of divine increase, it is not to say that October suddenly invents abundance, for abundance is eternal and ever-present. Divine increase is the movement of that eternal substance into visible, usable, practical form. It is not the creation of something new, but the unveiling of what was already stored, waiting for the right alignment to be revealed. Increase is the nature of spirit. Life multiplies, expands, and overflows, just as the harvest of one seed of corn becomes hundreds of kernels. The law of increase assures us that one right thought held in faith produces more than its measure. One right word spoken in conviction returns with multiplied force. One act of gratitude unlocks a river of more to be grateful for. October is the season when this multiplication quickens, when the unseen harvest ripens, and when divine increase presses to reveal itself. To live in harmony with this truth, one must cultivate expectancy. Expectancy is the open hand, the prepared storehouse, the vessel that knows without question that what was planted will come forth. Too often the unseen harvest is delayed because the soil of thought is hardened with doubt, with fear, with the belief that supply is limited or controlled by circumstances. But October teaches that circumstances are not the cause, they are only the result. Divine increase does not ask permission from appearances. It flows through them, around them, and beyond them. The unseen harvest is never hindered by what the eyes can see, because it is rooted in a law greater than appearances. Consider how nature itself models this truth. The tree does not worry whether the season will bring its fruit. It stands rooted, it draws nourishment, it trusts the unseen processes within its branches and leaves. And when the time comes, the fruit appears effortlessly, without strain. In the same way, October calls each soul to trust the unseen processes already at work, to know that divine increase has been silently preparing, arranging, multiplying in ways beyond imagination. The fruit will appear because it must, not because one strives to make it appear, but because law guarantees the return of what has been sown. The unseen harvest also teaches patience. Seeds are never planted and harvested in the same breath. There is always a season of waiting, of unseen growth, of silent expansion beneath the surface. Many lose faith in this waiting season, believing that nothing is happening. Yet October reveals that much has been happening all along, hidden from the surface view, preparing for the sudden moment of manifestation. This suddenness is not random. It is the flowering of unseen labor, unseen faith, unseen order that has been building quietly, ready to reveal itself when the soil and the season align. Divine increase often arrives like a surprise, but it is never an accident. It is the natural outworking of the unseen harvest finally stepping into sight. October, then, is more than a month in the calendar. It is a symbol, a reminder that every cycle of life carries a season of manifestation, a season of gathering, a season when what was invisible becomes visible. To call it a season of unseen harvest and divine increase is to affirm that what has been prepared in silence is ready to show itself in substance. It is to recognize that abundance is not approaching from the outside, but is emerging from the inside, flowering into form, flowing through the channels of life as surely as the rivers flow to the sea. Divine increase is the natural birthright of every soul, and October whispers the eternal truth: what you have planted, believed, and affirmed in faith cannot remain unseen forever. It must come forth. For this is the season where the unseen harvest reveals its abundance and divine increase becomes visible in ways that exceed all expectation. Large sums signify abundance in every form, not only money. When one hears the phrase, large sums, the natural tendency of the human mind is to imagine stacks of coins, notes, or material wealth placed in the hands. Yet to limit the meaning of large sums to money alone is to misunderstand the vastness of abundance and the infinite ways in which it reveals itself. Large sums represent the overflowing of life itself, the multiplication of blessings, the increase of all things that bring joy, freedom, and fulfillment. To confine them to money is to confine spirit, and spirit cannot be confined. Large sums can be measures of time gifted back to you. When opportunities align so perfectly that what would have taken years is accomplished in days. They can be the sudden restoration of health, vitality flowing in the body where there was once fatigue or dis-ease. They can be the unexpected gift of friendship, connection, or love appearing just when the heart was ready to receive. Abundance manifests in infinite channels, and large sums describe the volume, the weight, the magnitude of the good that arrives. It is the reminder that good does not trickle in small amounts, it flows in rich, generous supply. Overwhelming the old belief in lack, overturning the thought of limitation, and proving that the universe deals not in pennies but in plenty. When one expects large sums, one must also prepare to see them in forms that stretch the imagination. The soul that prays for money may receive instead a door opening into a career that brings more than wealth. It brings joy, purpose, and fulfillment. The one who longs for financial supply may suddenly be released from debts, contracts, or obligations, finding freedom rather than mere accumulation. These two are large sums, for freedom is abundance, joy is abundance, and peace is abundance. The essence of large sums is not the number written on a check, but the overflowing presence of divine good that satisfies every need and enlarges every horizon. The universe does not measure abundance in currency alone, it measures it in wholeness. One can be rich in money yet poor in peace, and such a state is not abundance. But when large sums come as wholeness, they cover every area of life, leaving no corner of existence untouched. They bring balance where imbalance once ruled, harmony where conflict once lingered, beauty where barrenness once stood. The abundance of spirit is complete, and large sums are the expression of this completeness. They remind us that no part of life is meant to be starved or lacking, for spirit does not distribute wealth in fragments, but in fullness. To recognize large sums in every form, one must cultivate the vision to see beyond appearances. A new opportunity may seem small at first, but hidden within it is a large sum of growth, experience, and expansion. A simple introduction to another person may unfold into a network of support, friendship, and partnership that changes the course of a lifetime. The large sum is often concealed within the ordinary, waiting for the eye of faith to call it what it truly is. When we declare that large sums are coming, we declare that the universe is pouring into our lives not in drops but in waves, not in fractions but in fullness, not in scarcity but in unmeasured plenty. Large sums also remind us of the law of multiplication. In nature, a single seed does not return a single seed. It returns a harvest multiplied many times over. Likewise, every right thought, every act of kindness, every affirmation of truth is a seed planted in consciousness that must return in multiplied form. The multiplication is the large sum, the divine mathematics that expands beyond human calculation. When money is given, it returns as more than money. It may return as protection, as health, as opportunity. When time is given, it returns as ease, as alignment, as doors that open at the perfect moment. The law of multiplication ensures that nothing given in faith ever returns in the same measure. It comes back pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Abundance in every form means that large sums often arrive in ways that cannot be counted or carried in the hand, but must be felt in the heart. The peace that settles after a season of turmoil is a large sum. The sudden clarity of mind that reveals the next step is a large sum. The presence of beauty, sunlight streaming through leaves, a melody that awakens joy, the laughter of a loved one. These too are sums of abundance, for they enrich the soul and lift the spirit. The universe is always giving in large sums, but it is the consciousness of the receiver that determines whether the gift is recognized or overlooked. To affirm that large sums are not only money is to free oneself from the narrow bondage of material thinking. Money is but one channel, one form, one symbol of supply. True abundance is source itself, and source is infinite. Large sums in health can restore years of life. Large sums in creativity can birth inventions, art, and solutions that change the course of communities. Large sums in wisdom can solve problems that money could never touch. To recognize these is to walk in the awareness that divine increase is unlimited in expression. Large sums also reveal the generosity of the universe. If life were stingy, it would give only enough to scrape by, but life overflows. Rivers do not trickle with a drop. They surge with waters that carve valleys and nourish fields. Trees do not produce a single leaf. They grow forests dense with shade and beauty. Stars do not appear one by one. They flood the sky in uncountable clusters. Everywhere in creation the pattern is clear: large sums, multiplied, overflowing. This is the pattern that applies to every soul, for humanity is not separate from creation but part of it. To live expecting only small measures is to deny the pattern written in the very fabric of existence. Large sums signify a change in consciousness. The mind that once believed in smallness begins to believe in expansion. The heart that once expected only enough begins to expect overflow. The life that once counted only money as wealth begins to see wealth in health, in joy, in freedom, in opportunity. This change in vision opens the door wider, for the universe always answers the level of expectancy. To expect little is to prepare only for little. But to expect large sums in every form is to align with the divine law of increase that has no limit. To walk in the awareness of large sums is to walk with gratitude before the evidence arrives. Gratitude multiplies what is present and calls forth what is unseen. To give thanks for health, even in the smallest measure, is to invite the large sum of vitality. To give thanks for love, even in a single act of kindness, is to invite the large sum of overflowing relationships. Gratitude recognizes abundance in seed form, and thereby prepares for its harvest in multiplied form. Large sums are not a matter of chance. They are the natural outworking of gratitude, faith, and the recognition of Spirit's generosity. Thus, when one affirms that large sums signify abundance in every form, it is an affirmation of freedom, of wholeness, of limitless possibility. It is a declaration that life does not deal in fragments but in fullness, not in scarcity but in supply, not in confinement but in expansion. Large sums are the natural language of spirit, and they express themselves in health, in peace, in joy, in love, in opportunity, in creativity, and yes, in financial provision, but never in money alone. They come in the measure of abundance itself, and abundance has no boundaries, no limits, no lack. What appears as loss is preparation for greater gain. To the surface mind, loss often seems final, as though something valuable has been taken away, leaving behind emptiness or lack. Yet in the higher order of life, loss is rarely loss at all. It is transition, movement, and rearrangement, clearing away what no longer serves in order to make space for what is greater. When leaves fall from the trees in autumn, one might call it loss, but it is not so. The falling leaves enrich the soil, nourish the roots, and prepare the tree for the strength it will need in the coming spring. The tree is not diminished, it is being readied. In the same way, what appears as loss in human experience is often the invisible hand of divine order making room for increase, ensuring that the greater harvest can find its place. The principle behind this truth is simple: there is no vacuum in spirit. Where something is removed, something else must take its place. If one has lost a position, an opportunity, or a possession, it is because that space is needed for something more fitting, more expansive, more aligned with the soul's growth. The universe never subtracts without multiplying, never diminishes without preparing to restore in greater measure. The apparent loss is a signpost, signaling that one chapter is closing so that another can begin. To cling desperately to what has been removed is to resist the law of circulation. But to release it in trust is to open the hands wide for the greater gift that is already prepared. Many people misinterpret loss as punishment or misfortune, but in truth, it is often the greatest blessing concealed in disguise. A relationship may dissolve, and in the pain of its departure one may feel abandoned or betrayed. Yet that very ending creates space for a deeper love, a truer partnership, or the freedom needed for self-discovery. A career may collapse, a job may be taken away. And though the immediate reaction is fear of scarcity, the space opened becomes the soil for new opportunities, new paths, and creative ventures that would never have emerged without the loss of the old. In every case, what appears as loss is but the pruning of the vine, ensuring that the fruit to come will be richer, sweeter, and more abundant. The idea of preparation is vital, for preparation is the unseen foundation of manifestation. If one desires to receive large sums, greater blessings, or new opportunities, there must be room for them to land. A cup already filled cannot receive more until it is emptied. Loss, then, becomes a divine emptying. It is the universe saying, "Prepare, for something greater is ready to flow." The human heart may grieve the emptying, for it is natural to feel the sting of release, but faith looks beyond appearances and understands that nothing truly good is ever taken away. What departs is always the shadow of what is meant to come, the lesser form that must step aside so the greater form can take its place. Consider the soil that must be broken before the seed can grow. To the soil, the plow feels like destruction. cutting deep furrows and turning everything upside down. Yet without that disruption, the seed could never be planted, and without planting, there could never be harvest. So it is with loss. It may feel like something has been torn open, but in truth, it is the furrow that makes space for new life. The pain of the process is but the preparation for the joy of increase. The field is not ruined by the plow, it is made fertile. The life is not ruined by loss, it is made ready. To those who walk by sight alone, loss appears cruel. But to those who walk by faith, loss is recognized as part of a higher order. Faith knows that the divine plan is never to diminish, but always to enlarge, never to wound, but always to heal, never to strip away without also clothing in greater abundance. When one door closes, another must open, and often the door that shuts is the very one that has kept the soul from stepping into its true inheritance. The closed door is not an ending, but a redirection, steering the traveler to the greater path that was waiting all along. It is also important to see that loss teaches detachment. When one clings too tightly to possessions, people, or circumstances, the flow of life becomes blocked. Loss gently or forcefully reminds the soul that nothing in form is permanent, and that true security rests not in things but in source. By loosening attachment to the outer, the inner connection with divine supply grows stronger, and through that connection the greater gain arrives. What appeared to be loss has in truth removed the false foundation, so that a solid one can be laid. This is why so many can look back upon seasons of loss and declare that those very moments were the beginning of their greatest growth. Loss also reveals hidden strength. In the absence of the familiar, one discovers resilience, creativity, and capacity that were dormant before. The void left by what has gone calls forth inner resources that might otherwise have remained unused. What appears as loss becomes the crucible in which new strength is forged, and that strength itself becomes a form of gain greater than what was lost. To lose comfort is to gain courage, to lose certainty is to gain faith, to lose dependence is to gain freedom. The gain is greater because it touches the soul and not merely the surface. In the cycles of nature, loss is always temporary, always purposeful. The caterpillar dissolves into nothingness within its cocoon, a total loss of form, and yet out of that loss comes the butterfly, radiant and free. The seed loses its shape, bursts open, and disappears into the soil, yet out of that breaking comes the tree. In the same way, human life mirrors these cycles. Loss may feel like dissolution, like something has ended beyond repair. But within the process is hidden the transformation, the emergence of something more beautiful, more expansive, more aligned with the soul's purpose. To understand that what appears as loss is preparation for greater gain is to walk in peace even amid endings. It is to trust that the universe is always working toward increase, always moving toward expansion, always preparing something richer than what was before. It is to see endings not as death but as transitions, not as destruction but as rearrangement, not as punishment but as the careful clearing of ground. The greater gain is already in motion the moment the loss appears, and the soul that holds faith will one day see that nothing was ever truly lost, only transformed into something far greater. Faith and expectancy clear the way for manifestation. When the mind is heavy with doubt, fear, or the memory of past disappointments, it creates a wall that blocks the natural flow of supply. Yet when faith is present, that wall dissolves. Faith is the unseen assurance that good is already here, moving toward expression, ready to appear in tangible form. Expectancy is the outstretched hand, the open vessel prepared to receive. Together, faith and expectancy create the clear channel through which manifestation flows. For spirit cannot pour abundance into a heart that is closed with disbelief, but it rushes eagerly into the one that believes without hesitation. Faith is more than passive belief, it is active certainty, a deep inner knowing that refuses to be shaken by appearances. Appearances may show lack, emptiness, or delay, but faith declares that these are temporary shadows and not the truth of reality. Faith looks beyond the surface, beyond the evidence of the senses, and anchors itself in the eternal law of abundance. It holds fast to the conviction that good is already present, even if unseen, and that every need is already supplied in the invisible before it is visible. In this way, faith keeps the channel clear, preventing fear or despair from obstructing the flow of manifestation. Expectancy is the companion of faith, for to believe without expecting is to hold a truth without preparing for its arrival. Expectancy sets the stage, makes the room ready, creates the opening through which good can appear. It is the attitude of one who does not wonder if supply will come but knows it is coming and prepares joyfully to receive it. Expectancy is the mother preparing the nursery before the child arrives, not questioning whether the birth will happen, but acting in confident assurance that it is already underway. Expectancy is the farmer clearing barns before harvest, not asking whether the crops will grow, but knowing they are already ripening in the field. This readiness clears the way for manifestation, because the universe always fills the place that is prepared for it. Faith without expectancy may affirm truth but fail to receive it, for there is no opening created. Expectancy without faith may prepare, but without inner conviction the preparation will collapse under doubt. When both are joined, the path is made smooth, the way is opened, and manifestation becomes inevitable. Faith says, "It is so," and expectancy says, "I am ready for it now." Together, they align thought, word, and action with the divine law of supply, and the unseen becomes seen. The act of expectancy changes the atmosphere of the mind. A person expecting increase carries a lightness, a confidence, a readiness that radiates. This inner state draws conditions, people, and opportunities into alignment, for the universe responds to the energy one projects. When expectancy is alive, every step feels purposeful. Every encounter holds possibility, and every day carries the sense of something about to unfold. This vibration itself is magnetic, attracting manifestation in ways the doubting mind could never calculate. Faith and expectancy also remove the clutter of fear. Fear imagines obstacles, delays, and disappointments, creating a clouded vision that prevents one from recognizing opportunities, even when they appear. Expectancy clears that cloud, allowing the eyes to see with clarity, to recognize open doors, to step into alignment with confidence. Faith ensures that even when the door looks closed, it is not mistaken for finality, for faith knows that doors open by law, not by chance. Thus, faith keeps hope alive, expectancy keeps the vessel open, and manifestation flows naturally as the next step in divine order. To understand how faith clears the way, one must see that doubt is a form of resistance. It is as though one hand is reaching out to receive, while the other pushes the gift away. This divided state blocks manifestation. But when faith fills the whole being, there is no division, no resistance, only openness. This openness allows supply to move swiftly, unhindered by inner conflict. Expectancy strengthens this openness by preparing outwardly for what is believed inwardly. For example, the one expecting opportunity polishes their skills, organizes their affairs, and makes space in their schedule, because they know the opening will come. The one expecting financial increase clears debts, sets intentions for its use, and makes plans, not out of wishful thinking but out of certainty. These preparations are signals to the universe that the way is clear and the vessel is ready. Faith and expectancy also work by aligning one's words with one's belief. Words of complaint, worry, or fear contradict the silent affirmation of faith and block the channel. But words of confidence, gratitude, and anticipation magnify the inner conviction and strengthen expectancy. To say daily, "I am ready for the good that belongs to me," is not empty repetition, it is the conscious shaping of thought into form, the clearing away of mental clutter that would otherwise create delay. The spoken word charged with faith carries power, for it declares into the unseen and calls forth the seen. Manifestation is never about forcing or striving, it is about allowing. Faith and expectancy create this allowance. They do not push or demand but open and invite. The anxious mind tries to control how supply should come, through whom, or in what form. But faith surrenders the how and holds only to the certainty that it will come in perfect ways. Expectancy does not dictate the channel, It simply keeps the vessel open for any channel to pour through. This openness ensures that manifestation can appear in ways far beyond the limited plans of the human mind. In every story of increase, faith and expectancy are present. The patient who recovers does so not only by medicine, but by faith in health and expectancy of healing. The entrepreneur who succeeds does so not only by strategy, but by faith in their vision and expectancy of opportunity. The artist who creates does so not only by skill, but by faith in inspiration and expectancy of expression. These unseen forces shape the visible outcome, for manifestation is always born in consciousness before it appears in form. To live with faith and expectancy is to walk daily in the energy of preparation. It is to rise in the morning with the inner declaration that good is on its way, and to carry oneself through the day with the awareness that manifestation may appear at any moment. It is to act as though the harvest is already ripe, as though the door is already swinging open, as though the gift is already in hand. This state of being magnetizes supply, for the universe delights in filling the vessel that is empty yet ready, in answering the heart that believes yet waits in joyful expectation. Faith and expectancy are the invisible architects of manifestation. They shape the unseen, clear the space, prepare the ground, and open the channels. Without them, the flow of good is hindered, delayed, or overlooked. With them, the flow is natural, immediate, and abundant, because spirit rushes eagerly into every prepared space. The clearer the faith, the stronger the expectancy, the swifter the manifestation. To hold them both is to live not in doubt or delay, but in readiness, in trust, and in the certainty that what is unseen is already moving into form. October is not a waiting room, but a delivery room. Too often people move through seasons of their lives imagining themselves to be in suspension, believing they are held in some undefined pause, where nothing is happening, nothing is moving, and nothing is being given. They tell themselves they must wait, that their desires are delayed, that manifestation is distant. Yet October does not carry the vibration of postponement. October is not the month of delay, it is the month of birth, where what has been gestating in the unseen finally presses forward into visibility. Just as the earth yields its harvest in this season, so too does the unseen work of spirit yield visible outcomes. It is not a time of merely waiting, it is a time of receiving, of delivering, of welcoming into form what has already been prepared in the invisible. A waiting room suggests stillness without progress, an indefinite holding space where time drags without change. But a delivery room is filled with expectancy, urgency, and the certainty that something new is arriving. In a delivery room, no one questions whether the birth will happen, they know it is happening, and the atmosphere is charged with preparation and anticipation. This is the quality of October. The unseen harvest has already been conceived, nurtured, and grown, and now it comes forth. What was once invisible becomes visible, what was once promised becomes present, what was once hoped for becomes tangible reality. The energy is not of passive waiting but of active emergence, the joyful knowing that the time of delivery has arrived. October holds within it the rhythm of culmination. The seeds planted in prior seasons, whether seeds of thought, word, or action, have been silently growing beneath the surface. To the outward eye, it may have appeared that nothing was happening. The soil seemed quiet, the fields empty, the prayers unanswered. Yet beneath the still surface, life was moving, roots were spreading, and increase was preparing itself in silence. October announces that the silent growth is over, and now the time has come to bring forth the fruit. It is the season where the invisible process reaches its appointed hour, and what once seemed like waiting is revealed as preparation. In a delivery room, there is effort, there is intensity, but there is no doubt about the outcome. The entire focus is on welcoming the new life that is emerging. This same intensity belongs to October. It is the month when spiritual labor produces visible fruit, when the dreams carried in the womb of consciousness find expression in form. The delays of the past are not denials, they were simply gestation, the necessary season for growth. October is the moment when gestation ends and manifestation begins. It is not an empty hallway but the doorway of arrival. To see October in this way shifts the entire perspective of the soul. Instead of saying, I am waiting, one begins to say, I am receiving. Instead of sighing with delay, one breathes with expectancy. The posture of the heart changes from passivity to readiness, from resignation to celebration. Just as a mother prepares for the child long before the birth, setting aside clothing, arranging space, and making plans, so too must the soul prepare for its harvest in October. For in a delivery room, the question is never if, but always when, and the when is now. This perspective also teaches that apparent endings are not closures but births. The falling leaves of October do not signify death. They signify the release that makes way for new life. The ending of one chapter is the birth of another. The closing of one door is the delivery of a new path. The soul that mistakes these shifts as endings falls into despair, but the soul that recognizes them as birth steps into joy. October, as a delivery room, reminds us that every seeming loss, every closing, every transition is in truth the prelude to manifestation. Nothing is being taken away, everything is being delivered in a higher, richer, fuller form. In a delivery room, timing is sacred. One cannot rush the birth, nor can one halt it once it has begun. The process unfolds in divine order, and the new life emerges at the precise moment it is ready. October operates under the same law. The blessings arriving in this season come not too early, not too late, but exactly on time. Though the mind may have longed for them sooner, they arrive at the perfect moment. When the vessel is ready to receive, when the soil is fertile, when the environment can support growth. Faith trusts this timing. Expectancy prepares for it, and together they welcome the manifestation that has been ordained. October is also a reminder that manifestation is not distant, it is immediate. The harvest does not belong to some far-off season, it belongs here and now. The prayers that were spoken, the affirmations declared, the visions held, have been forming in the unseen and are ready to step into sight. Just as a delivery room brings forth life into the visible world, so too does this season bring forth the invisible good into visible form. It is the transition point between spirit and matter, between promise and fulfillment, between hope and reality. There is urgency in a delivery room, but it is not anxiety. It is the urgency of readiness, the acknowledgement that the time has come, that no further delay is necessary. October carries this urgency. It whispers to the soul that the time of waiting is over, that the time of delivery has begun. It calls for preparation, for clearing space, for making room in consciousness and in life for what is arriving. Just as a mother makes space in her arms for the newborn, so too must the soul make space in thought and environment for the blessings now pressing to appear. The metaphor of October as a delivery room also teaches the necessity of cooperation. In birth, one works with the process, not against it. Resistance only increases struggle, but surrender and cooperation bring the flow of life into manifestation. In the same way, October asks for surrender to divine order. It asks the soul to release control, to cease clinging to old patterns, and to allow the natural process of manifestation to unfold. The greater good is already in motion, and cooperation clears the way for its swift appearance. To live October as a delivery room is to walk in constant expectation of newness. Each day carries the potential of birth, each moment the possibility of arrival. It is to hold the awareness that something is always being delivered, that manifestation is not a distant event, but an ongoing unfolding. It is to know that the unseen work of spirit is always pressing into visibility, and October is the symbol of that emergence, the reminder that life is not about indefinite waiting, but about continual receiving. In this way, October teaches the eternal truth that life is not static. Nothing is held in suspension forever. What has been planted must grow. What has been nourished must bloom. What has been conceived must be born. The waiting room is an illusion created by doubt and fear, but the delivery room is the reality of divine law. October reveals this reality, showing that manifestation is already in motion, that birth is inevitable, that delivery is at hand.